Recall that this is also coming after, I mean, this happened some months ago when the Senate accused the executive arm of government of fighting corruption with insecticide. Well, there was, the Senate president said that was the view of a member, the executive arm of government is fighting corruption with insecticide when it comes to other arms of government, but is applying deodorant when it comes to its own case. They also cite the example of the suspended SGF, whom I think my colleague Shin Wakimbale asked the vice president, what's going on. Do you think it's taking too much time?
That is my sincere opinion. When matters of integrity and accountability comes up, it should be treated as promptly as yesterday. You see, you don't take the whole time when there is an investigation you have ordered and the thing is presented to you. You act with dispatch. That is the best thing for the system. So when you now facilitate, you dilly-dally about it, you give the people the audacity to read meanings into what you have not done. If we were to go by the precedent of that particular investigation, do you think that we can really expect much from these current allegations that have been raised? I think, you see, the NNPC occupies a special status in the revenue stream of Nigerian government. And I think I have a feeling that this one has the effect of damaging whatever this administration says is doing. And I think I expect something better from this one. You do? Yes. The question is, why should you? Because nothing seems to have happened with, I mean, the Northeast is also a pretty special case. This is Northeast that we're also thinking of setting up an entire commission for. And we realize that the problems there are numerous and they're dire. And see how it's been handled so far. You see, apart from what is on the ground, there are a lot of things that are linked to this particular allegation. Now you say a person who's supposed to be a subordinate to somebody on top of him, riding roughshod more or less over the person on top. And that will be saying maybe because he's somebody that is close to the president, maybe is somebody that is from a particular... So there will be allegations of nepotism. Exactly, well. That's the point I'm making. And so that charge is not allowed to fester, the president must of necessity do something seriously about this. You know, there is this idea of marginalization. There is this idea of when people come from a particular part of the country, they are treated differently. And this is an instance where the president must show that that notion is incorrect and it will not be allowed. I have read your letter, and in the tone of your letter, that charge of nepotism seems to be your greatest fear. Yes. Yes. How optimistic are you that that charge would remain just a charge, an allegation, and not be something that really is the situation? You see, optimism depends on how optimistic you are. You depends on what you have seen over the years. And you see, let me say this, I'm not talking about SERAP now. I don't know. I've been a student and an ardent follower of Nigerian political history since let me say 1979, at least, when I started forming opinion about what should happen. I have not seen, and that's my opinion, it's not an organizational opinion, I have not seen a leader that has commitment to integrity and accountability as Buhari. I'm saying it personally, not the organizational position now. And that is the reason why I say when matters of integrity becomes a matter in the front burner of public discourse, the president should not wait for anybody to urge him to act.
It's definitely a fine place to leave it. We sincerely hope that, the presidency and the president will act as urgently as you're urging them to. Mr. Adetokunbo Mumuni is the executive director of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project. Thank you for coming on Sunrise today. Well, the program continues about now with Chamberlain and Nyota in Lagos.